Hi, this is Ranoka, and this is just a quick introduction to this tutorial series. Well, it's kind of less of a tutorial series and more of just me showing you how I draw in Flash. Just a couple of things. I'm mostly going to be drawing the elements with first off, I've just drew this picture of a devil in my sketchbook, and I took a picture of it with my eyesight in my MacBook Pro and with photo booth, and then brought it into Flash CS3, and I've just brought it in as I've turned it into a symbol with F8, and then I've just alphaed it to 50% to make it less dark, to make it dimmer, and I've just locked it, and then basically I drew on top and I recreated the character. I'm just going to show you how I did that. But a couple of things first is I'm mostly going to be using with the brush tool. I'm mostly going to be make sure that it's on paint normal. I've got using a Wacom in CS3, and I've just got the pressure on, and I've got it on the medium brush. I've got the zoom at 100%, and I'm just going to show you that as I draw the shapes, just use black for temporarily, they turn into drawing objects. So when it's selected in the properties, you can see it's a drawing object. The good thing about drawing objects is you can edit the lines without, it's a bit like a group in the sense that if I draw two objects, they won't stick together. But say if I didn't have drawing objects on and I drew this shape here, then I drew this shape here, it separates them, so if I try to move it, it's sort of cut out the other shape and it's turned them into lots of separate shapes. But that stops this from doing it. They're still separate. Okay, so I'll just delete those. So yeah, drawing objects. And the other good thing, well, what I could do is do that and group it, and draw another one and group that, and that's effectively the same as using a drawing object. But the difference is that drawing object you can edit from outside of the group, well, outside of the, call it group, but this one you have to go inside to edit it. You can't pull the lines, you just move the shape. Just put that. Another important thing to know is that if you undo, if you break it apart, Control B, it turns back into raw artwork as if you just drew it with the brush tool, without the drawing object on. You can turn it back into a drawing object by using modify combine objects union. Now I'll turn it back into a drawing object, and modify. Thing is, I've just got, if I edit my keyboard, Flash keyboard shortcuts, commands, union selected, I've basically turned it into a shortcut. Let's have a look. How I did that was I basically unioned it with the modify combine union, and then with command F10 I brought up the history, and then I've done union, and then basically I've given it a name and I've called it union selected. Press OK, but I've already done that. Commands, and then it's over here, and it's got my shortcut there. Problem is, in the keyboard settings / keyboard shortcuts, you can do modify union here, but it's different. It will just do everything on the stage. It won't only do the thing you've got selected, so it's not the same. Need to record it with the history panel and turn it into a command. Okay, so that's basically, so this is also the shortcut to turn drawing objects on and off is J, which is useful to know. And you can also, you can fill, you can, oh yeah, and the other useful thing is, say if I've got, let's union that, if I draw something else, like, I can basically union them all together and make them into one object, and then here, this is if it was raw. The only thing is drawing objects won't let you have groups inside them. We'll do this. Group. When you leave it says drawing objects can only contain shapes. So now it's a group. We don't really want a group. Union that. And the reason why I'm going to be using drawing objects is because if we have a look at my finished version, is it keeps everything separate. So now the horn's separate, the hair's separate, and it's not cutting, the artwork's not cutting into the objects, and they're all in the same layer, which means that I can quickly take all of this and I can put that inside a symbol and call it head or something. And now that's all, I can distribute that to layers. And there we go, all separate layers. Scene 1. So that's why I'm going to be using them. Then you could do that with all the other parts and stuff. But yeah, it makes it easier to, because I could call this arm, make it into arm. Now it's ready to animate. There we go. Anyway, that's the introduction. I'm just going to start by importing the sketch and drawing the outline and just showing you how I do it.